1 year after that text conversation, but 8 years after their sexual relationship started, Sandra Birchmore was murdered, allegedly by that secret boyfriend, Detective Matthew Farwell. And that brings me to Sara Azari, criminal trial attorney and NewsNation legal analyst. I mean, I need a shower, right? After reading that, Sara, I need a shower. It's so disgusting. And I'm not so far off your average juror, so how damning is this stuff?
They are damning, Ashleigh, because look, a defense attorney is going to come in and say, okay, this was just some dirty fantasy. Maybe it was even sex with a minor, but he's charged with murdering a victim of a crime. And that's why these text messages are damning and relevant, because you've got 2 layers of crime here. That the prosecution is saying a crime occurred, which was the child abuse, child molestation, and therefore there's a victim of crime, which is the deceased Sandra, and then he murdered that victim. So you need both of the sets of conduct. You need the motive to murder, and you need the crime itself, which is the child molestation. And so I think they're really important, Ashleigh, especially the text messages that are with third parties about his violence, about how he turned on her when she became pregnant and she started making demands about the birth of her child, and he just wasn't having it. It was not the same anymore. And so you really have a strong motive in these text messages of why he would want her dead.
So again, I mean, the whole story of their text messaging is long and illustrious, and it's painful to read it. I am going to read one more clip because, again, this is what jurors are going to hear, presumably, right? Unless there's some deal. Farwell says, "What was the first day you said, OMG, I want this guy to be my first. I want to feel him inside me?" And Sandra answers, "Yeah, so 2012, I finally decided that I was going to try and find a way to F you and just wasn't sure how. How did you feel when I asked to make your dream come true?" Farwell answers, "Amazing." And Sandra says, "Good." Farwell says, "I absolutely would have F'd you in 12. Sandra says, 12? He says 2012. So, you know, I already asked you, how do you get over the fact that the jury is just going to despise him, right? They're just going to despise him and want him to go down for something. But won't they be also wondering why no stat rape charge? Like, she was 14 and 15 in 9th grade that year. And won't the jury be saying, I don't get it. Why is this murder? Where's the statutory rape charges?
Well, the murder is the bigger charge. And so the jury will have to decide that a crime occurred, which is the statutory rape. He's not being charged with that crime. But in order to get to murdering the victim of a crime, you need to find that he was guilty of a crime or he committed a crime. And that's where all of this matters. And you know what, Ashleigh, the other thing that stood out to me is that he not only was so specific about what they had done, it wasn't just this sort of hypothetical conversation about sex acts. It was like, recitation of facts that actually occurred. But also the fact that it's clear from those text messages that he wanted her because of her age. That there was this, there was this attraction, or the sexual attraction
was disgusting.
It's disgusting. So there is statutory rape, and she is the victim of that statutory rape, which makes this a victim of a murder. And again, a lot of motive here.
I'm out of time, but I just wanted to read this. In February, Farwell describes pinning Birchmore down during sex and asking her, "Will you say, Matt, stop, I'm 13, I'm not ready for this. OMFG, please stop." Like, he wants to fantasize about this. And then the FBI investigator said he'd reviewed a lot of other texts where Farwell had instructed Birchmore to act as though her brother were coming in to have sex with her. I mean, just it's all so vile.
And just one more thing, I think the text also established that there's a propensity for violence, because, this was like references to violent sex. And so I think, that also goes into the whole strangulation issue, the cause of death.
I can't wait for this trial, if there's going to be one. You'll be there by my side, I hope. Sara Azari, thank you.
Yes, of course. Good to see you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.